stylist made me wear those goofy ass sunglasses.
They work.
Yeah, you feeling it?
I rolled it.
All right, cool.
Well, Jon, congratulations on a successful title defense at heavyweight. So I guess, like you talked at Media Day, fighting in Madison Square Garden was important to you, fighting in New York, fighting Stipe. So now that you got through it in like such impressive fashion, I guess, what are the emotions now?
I feel really, really great. I hadn't watched the fight yet, but based on my team's reactions, they said, Jon, you performed great. Being out there, you want things to go perfect. Nothing ever goes perfect in the cage. You're not going to land every shot. You're going to get hit. But I feel really good. I just can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
It's hard to say what my reaction is. I've won a lot of world championships, so it's a very familiar feeling. But I am very, very grateful. I'm so grateful.
You said not everything goes perfect in there, so I guess relative to the game plan you guys put together and how it played out, is that relatively how you saw it? Like the trip at the beginning, the elbows, the 12-6 we saw in there?
Yeah. The coaches definitely wanted me to find that 12-6 elbow. I wish I could have landed it more legit. Steve did a really good job with his defense and the bottom. The trip was completely unexpected.
Sure.
It was a takedown that just kind of came to me in the moment, and I was grateful to have been able to pull that off. One thing that I'm really excited about was that spinning back kick.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I'm really excited about. I have amazing coaches like Brandon Gibson, Greg Jackson, Coach Alex, Coach Aaron. I'm just naming some of my striking coaches right now. I really want to give a shout out to my Taekwondo coach, a guy named Paige Bates from Albuquerque, New Mexico. His family owns Bates Taekwondo in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We started about 6 months ago. We started doing the spinning back kick. He would come over to my house 3 days a week, and I worked that same kick from both stances 3 hours a week for several months. And Bruce Lee says that he doesn't fear the man that knows 10,000 kicks, but the man who has worked one kick 10,000 times. And man, I put a lot of work in with that spinning back kick, and it's getting faster and more unpredictable. There's really no tell when it's coming, and it's a devastating shot. I didn't hit Stipe's liver. I hit him on the opposite side, but I mean, it sends shockwaves to the person's body. It can break a rib. It's just a really powerful shot. So I'm really proud of landing that shot after so many hours of working it. Shout out to you, Paige.
And then throughout the fight, especially at the beginning, it looked like that jab was really frustrating him. And then the kicks to the body, just by the time he finished it, it looks like it had taken so he was getting slower and slower and slower. Was that just the plan to just like methodically break him down until he just can't really out of his element?
Yeah, my goal was to, I really wanted to Stipe. He beat Daniel Cormier with that left hook to the liver. He did it over and over again. And I really wanted to hit him with that same shot. But once I felt his punching power, I didn't want to lean to the right. My left. I didn't want to be by his right side at all, because catching one of his straight rights could end your night. And so instead of working that left hook to the body like we planned, I worked deep into the body and spinning kicks and jabbing to the body, and it worked out great. I watched this DC fight, and we noticed that Stipe can take punishment. He's a nightmare. He's a nightmare. You can hit him and hit him and hit him, and he shows no emotion. And I think that's why he's a 6-time world champion. But yeah, I mean, we put him down, and I'm grateful.
He announced he was retiring. He said, "I'm retiring, I'm hanging him up." Did you get a chance to talk to him after the fight?
No, I didn't get a chance to talk to him. I spoke to every one of his coaches at different times, some in Octagon, some backstage, and they're all very respectful men. Again, you can see why Steve is such a long-time champion. He has a really solid group of men around him.
And Dana was in here, and you said if you want the Tom fight, you want to be well compensated. Dana said his quote was, "He will be, but he knows you're going to disappear. He probably won't hear from you. We won't hear from you, and then when you want to talk, you'll emerge and talk with Dana and Hunter." So I guess what is your plan moving forward for the next few weeks?
I'm not really worried about the Tom fight. I'm really worried about the Pereira fight. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do, and I think if the UFC wants to have me back, then I think that's the fight they'll make. I've been really clear about my intentions. That's what I want. And I mean, I just feel like anybody would understand at this point. Like, you know, I'll retire the heavyweight belt if I have to. It's like, dude, give the guy what he wants at the end of the day, you know? And I'm not talking to Dana directly, I feel like I'm at a place now where, you know, like I want to take what I find these super fights. I don't want to fight dangerous up-and-comers anymore. I want to fight dangerous, established champions. So I'm tired to have the heavyweight championship. I don't really care about it. That my body doesn't lie in belts anymore. I've created something much bigger. I want Pereira.
Dana was in here and he said that he would really like not to make the Pereira fight, but if you and Alex did hound it, he would consider it. But he said that realistically, that's not a fight he wants to see because he thinks your skills with the wrestling and the size would sort of outweigh what Pereira has to offer. I'm curious what you think about Dana's take on that.
Man, styles makes matchups, and I'm sure Pereira's knocked out many heavyweights in his day. I mean, he has a knockout power that transcends, like, it's bigger than weight. Pereira's special. And for me, it'd just be worth my while fighting against Pereira. You know, people can call me a duck and a chicken. I'm gonna go home and cash a massive check. And so the duck and chicken thing is kind of funny. Yeah, that's kind of what I want. And if it doesn't align up, then professing my love for Jesus in front of everybody tonight, and telling the world how proud I am to be an American champion, and fighting in front of my president, man, if that was my last fight ever, then I'm cool with that. That was the way to do it. I did the Donald Trump. That was the way to do it, man. So I think one of the really good things about negotiating is being willing to walk away from a deal. And that's the deal that I want. And if that's not what the fans want, I guess I'll say sayonara.
You mentioned about sometimes you would hit Stipe and he'd show no reaction. In the first round, I actually couldn't believe he showed no reaction to the elbows or the fact that he wasn't cut. When you were landing those elbows, were you a little bit surprised? Like, what is this guy actually made of here?
You know, it was weird, bro. Standing in front of him, his head seemed massive. Like, seriously, like, I know I'm not trying to insult him. His head seemed massive. It was like a video game character. I'm like, I've never seen anything like this, you know? I had to get past that. I'm like, what is this? And then when I would hit him, it just seemed like he didn't feel a doggone thing. You know, he just showed no reaction. I think a lot of fighters would have quit getting that level of ground and pound, but he has this ability to just take shots. And I started to know as the time was going on that his body was going to be the only way to victory. And I started to really look for the body shots.
Two more quick ones from me. You know, obviously you mentioned about the disrespect Stipe has shown you, and you mentioned the clip of him talking about your children.